don't, by the way. Your objective this morning is to reach the far end of the lake without reappearing above the surface of the water." Max squinted. The far end of the lake was not visible. "Distance, about 1 mile. Just a couple of months ago, Max would have found that a ludicrous instruction. But that was the old Max. The new Max, the Special Forces Cadet Max, had grown accustomed to being given seemingly impossible tasks and expected just to get on with them. As Hector never tired of saying, if Max wanted to be spoon-fed, he'd come to the wrong place. "But it will be dark underwater," Sammy said. "How do we know we're going the right way?" Hector pointed to a separate pile of equipment. "Swimboards," he announced. "You hold them in front of you while you're underwater. Each one has an illuminated compass and depth gauge. Regular special forces might also use a special underwater GPS system, but I'm not here to make life easier for you." "You don't say," Abby muttered, earning herself another dark look from Hector. "Ah, well," she said. "I guess it beats sitting in a classroom learning Morse code." The previous day, Abby had been vocal about Hector's insistence that they learn Morse, but her reluctance had had precisely zero effect on the Watcher. "Where are Woody and Angel?" Max asked. For the past 2 months of intensive training, Woody and Angel had been their constant companions. Along with Hector and Martha, the stern, unsympathetic matron back at Valley House where they all lived, Woody and Angel were the cadets' watchers, and they'd certainly been watching them. They had been on the range while the cadets practiced their shooting skills. They had roared encouragement as the cadets ran up bleak mountainsides on the verge of exhaustion. They had taught them navigation skills, survival skills, surveillance skills, how to drive, how to pick locks, and how to move unseen around the countryside. They were like an elder brother and sister to each of the cadets, full of advice, support, and friendship. But today, there was no sign of them. "In case you were wondering, Woody and Angel don't have to check in with you," Hector said with a curl of his lip. Max was used to Hector treating him differently, more aggressively. He understood why. He and Hector had a complicated history, but that didn't make it easier. "Get your rebreathers on and grab your swim boards. You'll be entering the water at 2-minute intervals. Move." The rebreather was heavier than it looked. Max figured this was because of the oxygen pack. He clipped the apparatus to his body and placed the mask over his face. It fitted tightly. Hector went around the cadets checking the equipment was properly fitted. He handed each of them a swimboard. The compass at the front glowed only faintly in the grey morning light. Max knew it would be brighter in the murky water. He got his bearings. The far end of the lake was in a northwesterly direction. So long as he kept that trajectory when he was underwater, he should be okay. "You first," Hector told Max. The older man took him by the arm and forced him to the water's edge. The water was icy, even through Max's neoprene shoes. He knew better, however, than to appear reluctant. Steeling himself against the bitter cold, he waded into the water. Clutching his swimboard, he dived like a salmon. The cold water knocked the air from his lungs. He found he was unable to control his breathing. He inhaled sharply as a matter of reflex. If he had not been wearing a rebreather, he would have a lungful of lake water. He breathed out, slowly, trying to regulate himself. His heels were still splashing above the water. He kicked hard and plunged deeper, holding the swimboard at arm's length. The compass did indeed glow brighter underwater. Max saw he had already moved a few degrees off course. He readjusted his direction as he continued to swim deeper into the lake. He knew that if he broke the surface at any point, Hector would make him repeat the exercise until he could do it properly. And as he moved further into the depths of the water, it struck him that Hector's plan was working. Hector had tried to stop Max from joining the cadets. It was a weird way of trying to ensure Max's safety. Now Hector was going out of his way to ensure Max's training was as tough as it could be. "Train hard," Hector had told him. "Fight easy." His movements were slow and difficult because of the cold. His whole body was like a block of ice. His extremities numb. He estimated that he was about 10 meters deep. There was a faint glow of daylight up above, but his visibility